Welcome back. Episode 4, Necessary Troublemakers. This is Zay Guevara.
This is T.
And we back at it a day or two earlier than we normally are. For the previous few weeks, we've been broadcasting on a Wednesday or Thursday for the most part.
Yeah, but we had to do a little early because it's somebody's birthday tomorrow.
See, I wasn't going to mention it. I was going to let people on Facebook show me love. You know what I mean? I don't, even though I love when people say it and I want everybody to notice it, I just act like I don't
But
care.
talking about every day you send me a text, a countdown text
I'm just
of your
saying.
birthday. Like, you did it for like a whole
But
month.
since when it comes to birthday in Virgo season, as people try to
You
say
say,
it,
it's my birthday.
I try to act like I don't care.
Virgo season.
But yeah, tomorrow my birthday, so we just record a little earlier because
Pre-Libra season. Okay, go ahead.
Whatever. We wanted to just get at you guys a little earlier because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And the reason we want to get at you earlier also is because we want to maintain our stability and accumulating material.
Yeah, we don't want to have to skip a week, and I accommodated Isaiah for his special day tomorrow.
It was my idea though, so it's come up here early. So
I know he's got a day, a plan. So I'll give you an early happy birthday. And
yes,
3 hours.
Thank
I'll
you.
give you happy birthday.
Even though you're not the first person to tell me, someone actually commented on my wall on Facebook. Shout out to the lady.
I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Anyway, we got an interesting show this week, and the show is inspired by a lot of the things that are in the news, which is all our shows. All our shows are basically inspired by that. Like we draw our topics from things that are in the news, things that's on social media, but we always try to use a slant towards the African American perspective and how it affects our community.
And the good thing is, I mean, we never run out of news. There's never a story we're searching for. There's always something going on in the world, in our community, just everywhere. So
some mainstream,
we never run out of material.
Yeah, never run out of material. Some of the stories we talk about is definitely front page on everybody's mind. We also like to also talk about the somewhat obscure news that you probably forgot about, or is on like it's something in the middle of the newspaper per se, or at the bottom of the page that you actually view the news on. So we like to bring you up to speed on all of those things. And
as the media calls it, the Friday dump. You know what I mean? They drop like some news on Fridays that like no one really pays attention to. That's the shit that we want to talk about.
Word. So we're gonna bring light on that and inform our listeners. But you know what I mean? Before we get into what we're gonna talk about, we want to make sure we bring you guys up to speed. Yeah. A little quickie. I don't know about you, but I love a little quickie.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Birthday quickie right now?
Sometimes, yeah. Just a little quickie on a couple things.
I guess. Let's get it in. Let's
get this quickie in because I can definitely go for a quickie. But now the first quickie we're gonna go into is Mike Brown situation.
Yeah.
Usually we're still gonna do quickies just to update you guys on stuff that's in the news that you might have forgotten about, because we can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah, I know. We could definitely talk about the trivial things that kind of like it doesn't really matter, and the serious issue at the same time. And I feel like our brains are capable of doing that. We discussed that last week.
Yeah, no shade.
Yeah.
Anyway,
some people really they can't do it. We can, so we're going to.
Yeah. So first thing we want to touch on is new developments out of Ferguson, Missouri, in regards to Mike Brown. And I'm gonna read from notes I have. It says 2 unidentified men who were working for the Jefferson County Construction Company watched Mike Brown die from a half a football field away. So both witnesses said they did not see the reported altercation at the police car, but looked up after hearing shot or shots.
Yeah, they said they heard a single round go off, looked up, and then saw subsequent shots.
The workers said Brown was kind of walking back towards the cop. His hands were still up. And also another witness described Officer Wilson backing up as he fired. He said, I saw him staggering and running, and when he finally caught himself, he threw up his hands and started screaming, okay. And then 3 officers come through the thing, and the one just starts shooting. The workers told Fox 2's Washington on, my notes kind of copied and pasted, so it's a little scattered. But anyway, on August 12th, he said he drew a diagram also showing him and the co-worker about 50 yards away. And he wrote also that the officer emptied his gun into the guy.
Yeah, I mean, they said that, just to jump back on you, yes, they said that Wilson was about 10 to 15 feet away from Brown, and they were about 90 feet away from the car, both of them, when the officer, or in the vicinity when the officer fired a second shot while Brown's back was turned. And then, like you said, he had turned around, put his hands up, said, "Okay, okay." And then this man had told the FBI that because Brown stumbled before turning around, it looked like he'd been wounded from his point of view. Then, he stopped the officer, stopped 10 feet before Brown, aimed his gun again. Brown began moving like he was kind of walking back toward the cops. And the worker claimed his hands were still up at that time. And then Wilson began firing off. And then following the third shot, like you said, just to reiterate it a little bit, Brown's hands started going up. He moved 25 feet towards the officer. He couldn't tell whether it was a stumble or not. And then he said it wasn't like it was a bull rush. He said, quote, "I don't know he said, I don't know if he was going after him or if he was falling down to die, but it was not like a bull rush." That's what he was saying.
So basically, it just shows that what the law enforcement officials were saying, that Michael Brown made a threatening gesture, which kind of justified the cop using excessive force on him.
Yeah.
But you got witnesses saying otherwise.
And all of them are saying the same thing. So for people to sit there and, first of all, what really kind of annoys me when we talk about the witnesses and everything is that, the media really tries to, especially the conservative media, really tries to marginalize these witnesses because they're black. And it's crazy. No one does it to white witnesses. We're not going to be like, oh, this white witness is just saying this because this other person's white. No, but they seem to want to do that with our witnesses as if they have less credibility because they're black. But they're all saying the same story.
Yeah, and not only that, so they're trying to find out what actually occurred. People are trying to justify on behalf of the authorities to try to discredit the argument that another black male has been gunned down by law enforcement and unjustly. So, and
they're doing anything to make sure, if it's that narrative, if it's their narrative, that he was a thug, that he just deserved it. If people really think this just teenager deserved it, we've been talking about this for weeks now. And it's kind of crazy, but yep. So we have something
to keep an eye on. This is definitely I should say slam dunk, because it's not the office hasn't been charged yet, so it's not like the prosecutors receiving some witnesses. So I just think overall this is good news that hopefully will ensure that justice more likely will be served.
I'm so skeptical, only because we had situations where people were on video, like that BART cop that killed that man on video, and he only got 2 years. So it's we have all these.
That looked like a mistake, though. That did look like a mistake to me. I saw that. That didn't look like it was malicious. It looked like he just. But anyway, that's something totally different. I gotta see the movie actually. Yeah. But
I saw the actual video.
But one thing that was actual video. I saw the actual video on YouTube. Yeah. But Rodney King was blatant as hell.
Yeah, that's a blatant
as hell. Yeah. And they got off.
And then to give us hope, Eric Garner, the man that was strangled by NYPD on video in Staten Island. The good thing is that was brutal homicide. And actually, in that case, I really do believe that cop's going to get prosecuted.
Because it's black and white that it's a legal chokehold.
And exactly. And in this case, if nothing happens, I don't feel like we're going to be like, oh, right. How the Trayvon Martin case, we were upset, and that was it. I don't think that's going to happen with this one. I think we're going to be like, wait, hold up.
It's going to go down. It's going to go down pretty much.
It is.
All right. Anyway. Now, our next stop for this quickie, get some of that New Orleans quickie.
Yeah. Oh, I like New Orleans. I always wanted to visit New Orleans.
Yeah, some of that gumbo quickie. But anyway, just a little update on Ray Nagin, former mayor of New Orleans, infamous mayor, former mayor of New Orleans. He was the mayor during Hurricane Katrina back in 2005. Well, just to let you guys know what's going on with that man, he's headed to federal prison this past Monday. He's set to begin his 10-year stint for corruption.
Yes.
Now, Nagin, who served as the mayor of New Orleans from 2002 to 2010, was convicted of 20 criminal counts, including bribery, conspiracy, and money laundering for payments he received from granting city contracts.
Yep, a jury convicted him of accepting hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes, translate into money, free vacation trips, truckloads of free granite for his family business. Damn, granite! It's oh man, from businessmen, basically, you got all this stuff who wanted to work from the city or get Nagin's support for various hurricane recovery projects. This is so discouraging.
Discouraging.
It's just,
but
dude.
Unfortunately, this is prime example of power corrupts.
Mm-hmm.
And coming from one of the most corrupt states in the country, New Jersey, where we have mayors and local politicians that always go down because they're trying to promise contractors priority bidding.
Yes.
So they'll get little kickbacks. Like, okay, pretty much what they're doing is like, yo, all right. The people go to them like, yo, if you give me the contract to repave the whole city, I'll kick you like $7,000 just because we get the bid. Because when when cities try to solicit contractors to do work, they always go to whoever have the best deal for the city. But sometimes these people, corruption occurs, and unfortunately, Ray Nagin, a black African American mayor of a major city, who actually did a relatively good job in leading during one of the biggest tragedies of modern history, Hurricane Katrina. But he's just pretty much now a disgraced mayor. Yeah, and now he's went from hero to zero. Now he's headed to a federal facility in Texarkana, Texas, where he'll be serving his tenure sentence 8.5 for good behavior. And he's also ordered to pay a restitution of $82,000. So you're going to Club Fed, and it's unfortunate because you think about the mayor of Detroit, Kwame. I forget his last name. Patrick or whatever. You think about Sharp James. I remember it was Marion Barry. Also, it was a Patterson mayor while we was in college. I think Marty Barnes or something like that, who was like getting trips to. He had this people funding him to go to European trips and renting castles. Really though, dude? With his mistresses. But not just black people, because it's American. This is an American thing. It's an American thing. Let's be real. Yeah, because it's American. Most of those corruptions that happen in Jersey were white mayors. I'm about to say. It's just a whole thing. But the point is just. It's power corrupts, and to me, you really have to have a strong will and be a man of principle or a woman of principle when you're the mayor. So. It's hard to be that way. Not just to go for a quick tangent. I actually watched American Hustle a couple weeks ago for the first time, and that mayor, that Camden mayor, that got they set him up. He was actually a legitimately good person. Yeah, it was such a shame. Like it was watching that story and reading about that situation. Like, damn, he tried to be. It's like so hard to keep your hands clean. I mean, it's crazy because I kind of experienced people trying to bribe me on a smaller scale. Yeah. Like in my former position with an organization I'm not going to mention, like I had cats saying they had to do community service. They were like, yo, I don't want to do the hours, so if I give you $150, could you just say that I did such and such amount of hours, or write a letter to the judge? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was crazy because on a small scale, if you got small power, people still try to manipulate you. So I don't know. Yeah, pay attention to that. Yeah. Those who don't know the past are definitely doing a repeat in the future. Now, next stop on a quickie tour. Yes. Buy Black Monday. This past Monday was Buy Black. Yes. It was actually, this was in response to the Ferguson situation and the Mike Brown murder, and basically just black people were just completely fed up with being treated as second-rate citizens. And we know that it's a fact that we have a huge buying power, purchasing power. Estimate of $1 trillion. Yes, and spending power nationwide. And basically the whole goal was to sit on their money that day in hopes of sending a message and honoring message to America saying we're over this, and honoring all murdered black men, women, and children. Yeah. Now it said it was started by the National Black United Front. Yes. Which I'm unfamiliar with that organization, but one of the cities that got a little notoriety was Kansas City, because what they did was pretty much organize all the locals to support local black businesses, and they even had an app called the Buy Black KC, Buy Black KC app for Android and iPhones, so African Americans identify black-owned businesses by them. Yeah. So what I thought was pretty dope, but they said by doing business only with African Americans, owners are expected to help uplift the entire community through further investment and employment. Yep. So by essence, supporting black businesses, you're not only keeping the money in your community, you're also empowering these businesses to possibly hire more people from their community. I mean, that's the whole point. The goal isn't just to invest in these businesses and just keep it moving. The whole goal is to invest in these businesses so these businesses can invest in us. I remember when I first was talking about
buying black and, just focusing on buying our black businesses. And I had someone ask me, well, what makes you think this is going to work? What do you think they're going to, you think they're really going to invest in their communities? People don't even have these, a lot of owners in black communities kind of don't live in black communities.
Yeah.
So I just basically was explaining, we've kind of, it's like, which one comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I think that we need to support the businesses first, because a business is a business, no matter what, black, white, and their whole goal is to make sure their bottom line is good.
Yeah.
Make sure they're making money, make sure they're making a profit. So we kind of have to prove to our own businesses our purchasing power.
Mm-hmm.
And if we were to go and focus on those businesses and show them an uptick in profits, that I feel like they'd be more willing to take our dollar more serious and be more willing to invest in their community.
And not only invest in their community, then maybe if they recognize the spending power and the buying power of the black community, then they can use their lobbies, because most of these major corporations have lobbyists, and these lobbyists can start to lobby legislation to pass laws or enforce certain policies and rules that'll be more sympathetic to the black cause, I would say. Now I supported the Buy Black.
Yeah.
I went bought breakfast from a Jamaican spot, /Jamaican/black spot. I ordered breakfast from there. Then in the afternoon I went to a black owned dry cleaner to get some I felt bad because I went to the dry cleaner, but I had some True Religions, and I guess it's white owned.
Well, but anyway, I
already bought them, right? I ain't buying that. But
I'm mad at you. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
True Religion jeans.
Yeah. Hey, that was on sale. I went to the True Religion outlet. I got two for $120. I ain't gonna front. I bought $300 jeans.
I'm about to sound so cheap, but damn, to me that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Anyway, so I took that to it was crazy though, 'cause I went to the little dry cleaner, and it felt it was black owned, so I went there on the strength. But as soon as I pulled in the spot, it was like this old black woman that just had a mean ice grill. Like,
well, we know our people.
And I thought
she's probably the sweetest woman in the world.
Yeah, but she had a mean scar on her face. so I hopped out and she pulled up in front of me and was like blocking but not parking. So I kind of gave it a mean look. And it just so happened, you get somebody look when you're driving, and then then y'all pull over and go to the same place. So I was like, oh shit! I just looked at her, and she looked at me all mean, like, yeah, we going to the same place, mother sucker. But anyway, so we hop out, and not only we going to the same place, she walked behind the counter, like, can I help you? I was like, damn. So it was two black dudes in there, and they was cool. One of the dudes, it was weird because sometimes people get hard on us because they said the customer service isn't all up to par in black-owned businesses. And this place, first of all, I ain't gonna front, it looked kind of crazy inside. It was older. They just didn't care. They had their business for so long. They had their clientele that they don't got to cater to the new people. Yeah. But I feel like when I told them that I was coming to support on the strength of this Buy Black, they warmed up.
Yeah, they probably felt good, uplifted.
They felt good.
And you know what? There's actually been reports nationwide, not just in what did we say? Was it
Kansas City?
Not just Kansas City, but nationwide, showing that it was actually a success. And they said with momentum and energy, tens of thousands of people are gearing up to continue to black out each and every Friday. More information can be found at eachandeveryfriday.com.
I don't agree with that Friday thing.
Oh, why? I
don't agree with it because I just think Friday is like a tough day because people tend to patronize local watering holes. People want to get drunk. People party because they don't got to work the next day. I just feel like setting a day like that is setting us up for failure. Let's start small, like a Monday, or Tuesday, or Wednesday, or a Sunday, or something like that.
I don't know. So you're focusing on how it won't work. I'm gonna focus on how it can work.
I just think I'm just more concerned with increasing likelihood that it will work as opposed to people having reasons not to do it. I think Monday was a perfect day to do it. But overall, I think something to look out for. And say the site again.
Yeah, I mean, this is eachandeveryfriday.com.
Each and every
and it said almost 5,000 joined the event in the last 24 hours, increasing the total that committed to nearly 40,000. They believe the actual number of participants actually reaches further than that. Many who are participating have not officially joined. And, basically that's what they love about it. That's what makes the movement so powerful, according to certain reports, is that protest doesn't require the time needed to march the street. It's all about a choice in your daily routine. Eventually, we don't, obviously we don't want it to just be Fridays. We want it to be every day of the week. But,
But we start we got to start somewhere. I think that's a good thing to start. Now we're moving on again because we don't want to get too caught up on the quickies.
That's true.
But anyway, another.
Be a quickie.
Yeah, quickie, right? Exactly. Next quickie is Central Park 5.
Yes.
Excuse me. A lot of people can recall, they had a documentary on PBS not too long ago about Central Park 5. Central Park 5 was 5 young men that were accused and convicted of raping someone in 1989 in Central
beating
Park.
and raping a female jogger in Central Park. Apparently, she was an investment banker, and it led to sensational news reports and statements by politicians, inflamed racial tensions in the city, of course. And it was they were actually just looked at as an example because made an example of the lawlessness that was going on in New York City.
Yeah, that was probably like the David Dinkins era.
I believe so.
On those late 80s.
Yeah.
Mid to late 80s, early 90s, New York was pretty wild. But
Times Square completely different to what it looks like now.
Exactly, it's more of a tourist place. But it was like 89. Pretty much had the agreement. It was overturned in 2002, an agreement which awarded 5 black and 1 Hispanic plaintiff about $1 million for each year they were in prison.
And what makes this story egregious is that the men at that time were only aged 14 to 16 at the time of their arrest. And, that there was a claim that they made incriminating statements to authorities, but that these statements were made through coercion.
Yeah, so they was coerced. They was pretty much manipulated because they were minors.
Yeah, but the judge still ruled that those statements were admissible, and that's actually what got the men convicted in 2 trials in 1990. And like you said, in 2002, the convictions were vacated after the attorney general at that time found DNA and other evidence that suggested that the woman had been raped and beaten by another person, not these 4 men.
Now it says 4 of them: Antron McCray, Kevin Richardson, Yusuf Salim, and Raymond Santana Jr. spent about 7 years in prison, so they will get 7.12 million. The 5th person, Kyrie Wise, who served 13 years, will get 12.25 million. So one of the weird things about this is that the one agreement that the city has come to is that they'll say the city explicitly asserts that the prosecutor and police detective did nothing wrong.
Yeah, I mean they were very adamant on making sure that point was made.
Yeah, so the city's lawyer Zachary Carter he amplifies the city's stance, saying that the agreement should not be construed as an acknowledgement that the convictions of the 5 plaintiffs were a result of law enforcement misconduct.
Yeah, just so you know.
Yeah, so in that sense, we locked them up, we coerced them. We probably got some fake, what's that? What's the word I'm looking for? Admittance? No, not admittance. They got some fake.
False statements or?
False statements, false.
Confessions?
Yeah. Bingo. got your fucking head on your shoulders.
Felt like I was playing fucking...
charades, right?
Yeah.
Well, even though they got all those things inappropriately, the city's saying that it wasn't their fault, and because of the circumstances around the time that they did nothing wrong. Yeah, you're paying out. So
we're gonna pay $41 million, but we ain't do it. We ain't do shit.
That's just the nonsense with the city. Yeah. That's the nonsense with the authorities in general. They don't like to admit they're wrong.
Never.
But they'll pay out because they got
crazy.
The money.
And then what took us so long actually is that the Bloomberg administration had filed the lawsuit, which was actually filed in 2003, 11 years ago it was filed. But after Mayor de Blasio took office just last year, the city reversed its positions, and the defendants included former Police Commissioner Ray Kelly and other current and former members of the police department and the district attorney's office. They were all being basically sued by these people. I mean, a lot of people's career kicked off because of this, on the backs of these teenagers.
Yeah, because for the most part, prosecutors get a lot of stripes.
Of course.
For every time they're
political. They are politicians. You know what I mean? And district attorneys and prosecutors, judges. A lot of their careers, like I said, they made a lot of money as a result of those kids being locked up.
Shout out to Mayor de Blasio. He got the sister.
Yeah.
He got a sister.
Yeah.
And his son walk around with an afro.
Yeah.
That's
so
so he's like he down with the swirl, the man with the swirl. So shout out to him. You know what I mean? Because he's the one that overturned and put more shine so brothers can get paid.
Yeah.
So anyway, so last quickie on a lighter note. You know what I mean? And this quickie is.
Well, I'm a huge tennis fan,
and I think I would enjoy this quickie.
Well, he loves this quickie. Yeah, he likes any quickie that includes a fat ass. And that's what Serena has.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about Serena Williams. She won her 18th Grand Slam at the U.S. Open, 6th U.S. Open, 3rd consecutive. She's just making strides in the record books, and right now she's tied for 3rd in overall Slam titles. and she's 33, the oldest to be number 1 in the world, and she's just so dominant. I don't see when she's gonna stop. I mean, the only way she'll stop probably is being hurt. I don't see her stopping. I don't see anyone beating her. So congratulations to Serena for being dominant. She won her first one in 1999 when she was only 17, and this is 15 years later, right? Wait, what year are we at?
You're right, 15
years later, and she's still winning. She's still on top.
And again, not only the oldest, she's the oldest ever to be number 1, not the oldest now.
Yes,
so
exactly.
That's why it's so significant. And she's a sister, and she's thick as hell.
And she did whatever she wanted. Like, they didn't do juniors.
She got a fat ass.
Come on.
Her body means she's from Compton. She crip walk.
She crip walk on the lawns of Wimbledon.
She rock weave. So she messed with rappers.
Really? Oh my God! Let me tell you.
2 Chainz was at the.
I said to my coworker that Serena dated a rapper, and my coworker, this older black woman, was like, "Oh, why do these women do this? They always date these losers." And I was like, wait, first of all, she dated Common. For you to say that, you don't even know who she is. I said rapper, and you automatically thought he was a loser. Come on.
Exactly. But
anyway,
all I'm saying is it's dope because she kind of represents the culture. She's not someone that seems too stuck up or stuffy or disassociates herself with what we into at the age group that we in.
Yeah,
so that's what it is. Kudos to her.
She deserves a break.
Kudos to her, looking good while doing it, I might add.
I know, her little leopard suit.
Yeah, I feel like Dollar Bill. Turn around. Yeah.
I'll be acting like I know her too. I'm like, go ahead, Rita. Go ahead, girl.
So that concludes.
And she tweeted me one time. Sorry.
She tweeted you back?
Yes, I was excited.
You saved it? Did you save it as your favorites?
I didn't.
Oh, man.
I'm an idiot.
You're supposed to save it as your favorite.
And I kind of know her, 6 degrees of separation, because I went to high school with this guy who's like her friend. Okay, I'm obsessed with Serena. Next.
Damn. Anyway, that concludes our quickie. Yes. Our quickies, and so we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes of our discussion right now.
Serious.
And what we're discussing is, I mean, as you could probably assume or guess, we're gonna touch on this Ray Rice scandal and backlash and all the damn social media experts that have come about, and it's just a polarizing topic that's really made you look at people differently.
Definitely exposed some people.
System.
I feel like.
I don't think it exposed people because I don't look at that seriously, but we're going to discuss why. So, quick summary of what happened.
Oh, I'll give the summary? Okay.
No, I'll do it. Quick summary of what happened is Ray Rice, I think it was like in February, actually.
Yeah.
February, he and his then fiance were at Revel Hotel in Atlantic City.
Yeah, the now
closed Revel Hotel. And apparently, he knocked her unconscious after altercation in the elevator. The reason I'm describing it from this perspective is because back then, one thing that came out was that she was knocked out. It was a video that came out that saw her unconscious laying out, like in the elevator.
Yeah, like actually like
hanging outside the elevator.
Yeah, half her body was in, half her body's out. And the video is of him dragging her out. Just like a rag doll. Completely out of it.
So he got arrested by Atlantic County Police Force or Atlantic City Police, and he got charged with some type of domestic violence. And
they both got charged.
They both got charged. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because it said
they both got arrested. I don't know if she got charged, but they both got arrested.
So he wound up getting some type of PTI.
Pre-trial intervention.
Pre-trial intervention. You know what I'm saying? A lot of hustlers know what that is. A lot of the girlfriends of hustlers know what that is. Like, my baby got PTI. He finished that.
When you first told me that, I was like, what? Pardon the interruption? What the hell's a PTI?
Yeah, PTI. The hood know what PTI is because a lot of chicks got they man address on their crib when he got PTI. But anyway, so he got PTI, and when NFL found out about it, Roger Goodell, specifically the commissioner, and the no-nonsense commissioner, he kind of found out about it, and we decided, because he's the judge, jury, and executioner of the NFL, he gave Ray Rice 2-game suspension.
Yes, and a fine of $58,000.
All right. So initially, it kind of caused a lot of backlash. People were saying that it just didn't make sense. Especially, it didn't make sense in light of the other punishments he dished out. He suspended people from smoking weed. He suspended people for having firearms, which is kind of also bad.
That's bad.
I can't argue that. But he just, to me, he pick and choose kind of what type of punishment he gives.
Yeah. What's bad and what's not. What's worse than what.
So
anyway,
now after the backlash he got from the 2-game suspension decision that Goodell made, it kind of caused him to reconsider the punishment, and he decided to up the punishment, first offense to 6-game suspension. So if a player gets charged or accused of domestic violence, they get a 6-game suspension, first offense.
Yeah.
Second offense, lifetime ban.
Exactly.
Now, but these are all based on the individual basis, so they had to do investigation. Now, fast forward, like, it's crazy. So, yesterday morning, it so happened that TMZ is official.
Yeah.
TMZ official. They're impeccable. They're petty. Their morals and ethics are questionable.
They're also kind of misogynistic.
Yeah, and their comments is very racist on the comments on the story. Anyway, like, they're a reputable news source.
Yeah, I mean, they break news.
Hell yeah, because I mean, we live in an age where we tend to have more credence to New York Times and those well-established, like, oh, this newspaper been around since the 1800s.
That's true, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? If it's been around for mad decades or a century, we respect it more. TMZ's relatively new, but they've been breaking shit.
Yeah, and everywhere, politically, entertainment-wise, I mean, every news story, I'm not going to lie, I definitely go to TMZ to see it.
Oh, yeah, that's why if somebody say something on Facebook, I'm like, TMZ say it? I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Anyway, TMZ showed the video. They got their hands on the video.
Yeah, now, which makes sense because Rebel just closed. Like, this is my theory. The Rebel, I mean, it's everyone. This makes sense. The Rebel closed. So an employee who doesn't have a job is like, I'm not going to lose my job if I sell this to TMZ because I don't got no job. So that's how I think TMZ got a hold of the video.
Quick come up, pretty much. Quick come up. So the video was released yesterday morning, and a firestorm ensued. A fucking firestorm.
Let me tell you, I felt exhausted at the end of yesterday.
Yeah.
After that, it was crazy.
I was refreshing my Facebook every couple of minutes. I was looking at like, no, he didn't say that. No, she didn't say that.
I literally got nothing done. Like, don't tell my boss, but I got nothing done.
Yeah, I think productivity across the country was definitely down significantly.
It's crazy.
And it's unfortunate because, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's not even that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But, you know, we live in a society where we just a reactionary society, and that got the biggest reaction.
The media loves sensationalism, and you know we can get on the media about loving it, but they wouldn't do it if we didn't soak it up.
Mm-hmm. So you know, what I mean, one of the things that was like crazy about social media was that everyone had an opinion about it. Yeah. Everyone, some of the most quiet people on my damn Facebook friends list had an opinion about this story.
Yeah, I mean,
and it became really
polarizing.
Yeah,
polarizing. Yes, a lot of polarizing opinions. I mean, there's like people just like arguing. I mean, it got real on social media.
So we gonna address all these theories that people come up with because everybody psychoanalyzing everything and shit. So people ain't never read a damn psychology book in their damn life.
Yeah, or never read any articles, any studies. All of a sudden they became conscious like yesterday, and now they know everything.
Yeah, they ain't put perspective or comparison because studies about this have been going on and recorded for a long time. Yes. Anyway, we're going to pretty much break down every known point that was made. That we heard on social media.
Exactly.
So, you know what I mean? So we're going to start with one of the arguments. Arguments for or against Ray Rice. Yeah. So the first argument said, well, it couldn't have been that bad. She married him.
like first of all, he married her too. People were really getting on her. I can't respect her because she married him after that. And I'm like, who? You don't know that women stay with men that abuse them? I mean, that's known. And one of the perfect examples I used was Tina Turner. I mean, she's a strong-willed. You would think she's like all woman, and she stayed with Ike for a long ass fucking time. He's beating her ass on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
So I mean, unfortunately, that's what happens when women are abused. They tend to stay with the abuser.
And it's a perception that if you love a girl, you hit her and she stays. A negative perception. Yeah. I remember it was a lyric. It just came to me real quick. I remember Cam Ron from Dipset said some. It was funny to me at the time, but in hindsight, it's not funny. So you think how to reach a bitch is to eat a bitch. No, you stupid motherfucker gotta beat a bitch.
Yeah.
That's how you reach a bitch.
And that's how some people believe that shit.
He said whip her 2 times, 2 minutes, she'll call back.
People really feel that way. And what's crazy is that they get on her for marrying him. Like I said, I don't know why you don't get on him for marrying her. If he felt like he got to the point where he needed to slap her, he shouldn't have felt. He should have been like, "Oh, I can't marry her. She made me act out of character." But whatever. The thing that's crazy to me is that. Oh, I lost my train of thought. What the hell is this?
It's cool. You was doing the hand gesture. Like you was about to go in. Like, I'm about to rip this shit.
I really was.
You was about to rip this. It was right there. Hold on. She married him. But one of the things people saying, like, you know what I mean? It's related to money. Like he's her meal ticket. She married him.
Oh,
like,
I know.
All right, go ahead.
What I was gonna say was,
got you back.
Imagine if she didn't marry him. And she somebody was like, she should have went around the country and talked about the best of us. Then they would have been screaming, "Oh, these hoes ain't loyal. All he did was she's opportunist. All he did was slap her once.
She's trying to get her super head on.
She gonna do that and go around and talk about him? Because that's what they did to Rihanna. When Rihanna went on and did that interview, they were like, "Oh, Rihanna, she sat there and threw Chris Brown under the bus. Like he didn't two-piece her and knock her almost unconscious.
Put a damn speed out on her head.
That's so it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't."
Yeah. All right. So the next one that people are saying is she should know he's a big man, and if provoked, he's going to hit back.
What'd she do to make him do that?
Yeah. So because he's a professional athlete, they're saying that she should tread lightly.
Yeah.
Because he really can fuck her up.
And the argument is that she, hit him. This is the argument that I heard that he said. Apparently, he said that she had hit him in the head with a bottle. This is what I heard, but I didn't read that anywhere. But she had hit him in the bottle at the club. Who? First of all, nobody came forward to say that.
Did you just say hit him in the bottle?
Hit him. Oh, with the bottle.
Okay, I just want.
My bad.
I'm about to say because somebody want to hear that. and I wouldn't be keeping it 100 if I ain't point that out.
Thank you, friend.
Go ahead.
Anyway, yeah. So apparently that's what happened, but it's like no one saw that though. Like no one saw him get hit in the head with the bottle. And then like if that was why he got mad at her, then why would he wait till they got? I just feel like if they're trying to say it was impulsive, but if she had hit him in the head with the bottle in the club, the impulsive act would have happened like at that moment. It wouldn't have happened like as they were walking towards the elevator. Like they were obviously arguing back and forth. There is a clearer video that the press saw where they hear them screaming obscenities to one another in the elevator. But I mean, and apparently she had spit on him.
Yeah.
But
it gets all of that.
Yeah.
Though. I mean, just like the whole saying that he's a big man and she provoked him to hit her.
Yeah. Which is crazy because that's the argument for him. But to me, that's the argument against him. That he is a big man and that he could hold her back. He didn't have to hit her.
He should show more restraint.
Yes. Right. I mean, listen. I feel like that was kind of his responsibility. He's a pro football player. Of course, if he hits her, she's done. He's like always, if they ever get in a fight, he's always winning these fights every time.
Which leads us to the next point. Next one that people were saying, she charged at him.
Yeah.
She charged at him /
Shouldn't have hit him.
She charged at him.
She smacked him a few times. I heard someone say she tapped him on the mouth, and I said, so his response was to punch her in the face?
Let's be clear. From a man perspective, when we get to high school, that's about the time I realized I can whoop a girl's ass. Because in the middle school, I gave girls rounds. I ain't gonna front. I'm not.
You're all the same kind of size.
I'm not proud of that. But in the middle school.
Sorry, I don't know why. I'm sorry. I just imagine the little Isaiah.
Yeah, I gave
his ass beat. He probably got his ass
beat. I did catch an L in 5th grade to one girl. I mean, she had the windmill, and I couldn't get my shit off. But anyway, I definitely checked a couple of chicks' chins in the middle school. But it was like even fight back then. But when you start to mature and get past adolescence, get into puberty, you start to realize that I'm a young man.
Mature your thinking.
Mature your thinking. Also, you understand your physical capabilities, and this is not a fair fight. So just saying that she charged at him and justifying him hitting her back, the whole you hit me, I hit you back. I mean, as a man, we know that it wouldn't be a fair fight with a woman.
Yeah.
I would say 80%, 90% of women. So 8 out of 10 women, it wouldn't be a fair fight. I mean, you do got some Amazon out there.
Yes, I mean, there's some women that are bigger. Listen, and by the way, men do get domestically abused. I mean, people don't take it as serious. When men call the cops tend to not take it serious.
I mean, it's a YouTube video.
Yeah, and they don't even talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it or ridiculed by it. So it does happen, but I mean, women are just disproportionately the victims of domestic violence.
And just going off percentages because men lie, women lie, but numbers don't, and the numbers state that we're bigger and stronger than women. So overall, she charged at him. It's not a fair fight. Regardless, he should have just dodged or restrained her, shook her, pushed her, slammed her. Because I know most women can't wrestle either. I would have just took her uptown.
Yeah.
Put it down real quick.
Yeah, just straight, like that's it.
Put it in a dope.
I mean, they're probably both drunk, so it's probably
like chill.
Yeah. And what's crazy is that part of the she charged him argument is, well, equal rights. I mean, if women want to be equal, they can take an equal ass. But I saw somebody wrote that. I was like, really? Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Another one is she hit him first. She spit on him. Now,
Well, let me tell you, we're not condoning what she did.
No, because spitting on someone
is like so disrespectful.
That's the worst thing you can do.
That's disgusting.
That's the worst thing you can do. But again,
not the worst. But that's bad.
To me, that's like ultimate disrespect. I should say.
Me in the face is pretty bad.
You spitting on me. That's like spitting on me is like I know you ain't gonna do shit about it. I know you can't beat me. So you spit on me. Spitting on someone and slapping someone is like that's ultimate disrespect.
Well, yeah.
Like you really just bitched me. You played me out.
Yeah, I think that's foul. So if she did, I mean that's horrible.
Yeah, definitely horrible. But at the same time, again, as a man, you gotta show restraint.
Yes.
Maybe push her. I mean,
yes, it's a double standard that men have to do that, but that's part of being a man. Just like there's things that women have to do. That's part of being a woman that men don't have to do. But one of your things that as men that you have to do is when it comes to that, you have to be because you have the strength. It's almost like being an authority figure. It's almost similar to like I made this analogy before. It's almost similar to like a cop analogy. Mm-hmm. When they're dealing with civilians, they have the guns, they have the authority, they have the responsibility to act in a way that's kind of like not, they have the advantage in that situation. I feel like for men, they have the advantage.
I'll tell you what I would do. Like if she spit on me, try to hit me, I would just make a scene. Like, yo, this bitch crazy. I just be loud. So like, she crazy. Like, why the fuck is you wilding?
Security.
I just make a scene.
Anything.
Because nobody wants to be embarrassed. So I just put her on the spot. Now, what do you think about mushing her? You think it'd be wrong if he mushed her?
I don't know. In a way, it almost looked like that's what he did. I don't even know. Did he actually like?
No, I'm talking about like oh, come on now. Like a mush her. Like
what I just did to you.
Yeah, I was thinking for a second.
It's like I didn't really mush her.
For a millisecond, I was going. But anyway, what about mushing?
I would never.
Nah, I don't think you should mush somebody. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, right, I mean, listen, it's dysfunctional doing either one, but
let's keep it going.
Yeah.
I mean, so next one, he's trained to hit. He can't stop. This is reflexes. Yeah. Because he's a football player, and a pretty good football player.
That's absurd, by the way.
Even though last year he sucked for the most part. He sucked last year, but he's a pretty good football player. So they're saying that he's trained to hit, even though he's running.
He's not. Yeah, he's trained. Actually, people train to hit his ass.
Yeah, he's
trained to not get hit.
He's trained to run and carry that pigskin.
And I hate that argument because, like, if he was on the field and someone two-pieced him on the field and he got knocked unconscious, the crazy thing is that football player would have been suspended and fined, and everybody would have been like, oh, he deserved it. That's, he deserved that. And that's a violent sport. So if violence isn't allowed in a violent sport, why are you condoning this violent act in the elevator? I find it absurd. Anyway.
Next one, I mean, coincidentally, we had, like, another celebrity in the news about Solange.
What about Solange?
Lil Beyonce.
What, Solange? Yeah, Solange was wrong. No one ever said she wasn't wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, but still, in that situation, Jay-Z handled that right.
Perfectly.
Because he knew she wasn't ever going to hurt him. First of all, the security guard in there, I mean, and he's bigger. There was no way she was ever going to hurt him, and he handled it the right way. He held her foot. He stopped her. He constrained her, but never once did he have to touch her or hit her, because I feel like it just takes a certain caliber of man to get to that point where he's hitting this woman. I mean, unless she's got a gun up to her, you feel like your life is threatened. Right. I don't see where you hitting her is a good decision.
So yeah, Jay-Z pretty much wrote the book on how to show restraint. Yeah. Because he could have smacked the shit out of Solange. He could have smacked fire out of her. You know, there's more witnesses on there. So I think it's other little factors.
That's a different factor.
Different factor, because he could have possibly showed more restraint because he had people on there with him.
And it's different when it's your, it's a sister-in-law. But still,
Solange, what she did was wrong.
Yes, no one ever said it was right.
Definitely. So I'm not trying to, justify that. Yeah. Anyway, next thing is, why is it okay for women to hit men?
Yeah.
It's not okay for women to hit men.
It's not. Who said it was? Like, I love that argument.
It's not okay for women to hit men. Definitely, it's not okay for anyone to hit anybody.
Yeah, it's dysfunctional behavior. Yeah. That is just not an intelligent way to handle things. It's extremely dysfunctional, like I said, and violence is never there. It's just never the answer. So no, I'm not okay with women hitting men, and I'm not okay with men hitting women. One doesn't justify the other. Like, they're both wrong.
Mm-hmm. The next one is
I heard someone said one little slap, does that make him Ike Turner? Who's to say he abused her? First of all, they've been together since she knew him since she was a teenager. Just from looking at that video, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I'm going to speculate and say that the odds are this wasn't the first time this happened. I mean, I'm not gonna say he was Ike Turner. I don't know. I mean, does he have to be Ike Turner? I mean, that was enough for me.
Because the way he put her down so easy, like he just didn't freak out.
Yeah, he didn't freak out.
He didn't like, oh shit, I just not.
He did not freak out. He stood there, just dragged her out. Yeah, just not where she was like out cold like a rag doll. He dragged her out, and then at one point he actually even shuffled her with his feet like she was some dirty towel. It was just like, oh my, it was just.
He did like a dirty shot.
He did it dirty. He did it dirty
after Quickies, but he definitely was. He didn't show no remorse at the time. He didn't show no sense of urgency to make sure she was okay.
Yeah.
He didn't like just show any gestures that lead you to believe that, you know what I mean, it was, you know, bad behavior on his part.
I mean, like we said, we don't know. This is all speculation, but I'm just saying, I'm not a behavior specialist, but I have eyes and I'm observant, and that's what I observed from that. Sorry.
Another one was everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, which is okay. We know everyone makes mistakes, and people have to pay for their mistakes.
People have to pay for their mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this is a prime example in our justice system that shows you money talks.
Yes.
Because I feel like if it hadn't been Joe Schmo from the hood beating up this girl on camera like that, he might have been punished a little more harshly.
Yes, it would have been. Even though we also know that domestic violence is not taken as serious as it should be in the country, but it's true. If he didn't have that money, he would not have had the PTI program, and it wouldn't have been like basically a slap on the wrist to the point where his record would have been expunged if he completed the anger management classes successfully without any further incidences. I mean, it was like that much of a slap on the wrist.
And that whole argument about everybody makes mistakes, to me, it only justifies certain type of mistakes.
Yeah.
I think you're it's okay.
Maybe there's different levels.
Different levels of mistakes.
Yeah.
But like, so if I kill a motherfucker, everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah. Aaron Hernandez, he made a mistake.
He made a mistake.
Well, he made a couple.
Like if I knock a chick out.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Do I get a mulligan?
Yeah.
Like, do I get a do-over for that? Like, I just think certain mistakes you should know better. Like,
yeah.
You know right from wrong.
And the reason why I say that is because I don't even know if this is a good argument, but not everyone does that. So it's like, it's not a mistake. It's not like a, stupid mistake. Almost like, I guess like if we were like texting and driving, which is kind of dumb. It's a dumb thing to do, and it is in your control. But that's like a mistake. You know what I mean? That's like I don't know. That's probably a bad example because people can die from that.
You got caught up.
I did. I caught myself. My bad. Anyway, go ahead.
everyone do make mistakes, but I just overall think the level of mistakes, some of them aren't excusable. You know what I mean?
Definitely level.
Then the last one, people kind of brought race into the mix. It's saying stop vilifying this black man.
Now, part of that argument is that of the double standard argument, which there is a double standard in the media. That's very true. Like, black men really don't have a lot of room for error when it comes to that. We are forgiven. Black men in particular are forgiven. Well, black people in general aren't really. Everyone gets second chances in America, but our second chances are a little bit harder to get to. The hill's a little bit harder to climb. I mean, I can give a whole bunch of examples of people who just are having trouble with their second chances right now.
It just seemed like sometimes when a black man of notoriety gets in trouble with the law, even though what he did is wrong, sometimes we try to run to his aid or her aid because they're black instead of just going against them for what they did wrong.
Yeah. Now listen.
I just don't. I feel like we kind of dilute the whole black argument or racist argument by trying to justify or rally behind certain people.
Like, you can argue about the double standard and still hold him accountable for his actions. Like me, I do recognize there's a double standard. I don't know why Tony Stewart's still allowed to race in NASCAR right now. He killed a person and he got a standing ovation for racing the race last week. That's to me absurd because I do feel like if he was black, it would not have went down like that. But still, that doesn't mean that Ray Rice shouldn't be receiving this backlash for knocking out his fiancée to the point where she became unconscious. Like, no, he still should be held accountable. We do understand the double standard exists. That doesn't take away from the fact that we still got to hold our own accountable. I just don't think that's a good enough reason to give him a pass.
On the flip side, the argument that I threw out there just to be devil's advocate was, instead of trying to come to the aid as a black man, why didn't we applaud the authorities or the Ravens for coming to the aid of a black woman who was abused?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't like that argument because I feel like the Ravens, they're just backtracking.
I know, but I did that to be devil's advocate.
But yes, you're right. That's true. Like, yeah, actually, that kind of makes me annoyed the most because we were talking about this earlier, how I said that, people that are worried about vilifying a black man. I mean, what about this black woman? I feel like in a lot of instances, black women, this is actually going a little bit off topic, but we are ride or die for our men, for our black men. When our men are shot in the street, they're beaten by the cops, who's on the front lines protesting? Women. You're women. And I feel like we don't get that same support sometimes, and especially in cases like this. I mean, this girl has been getting thrown through the mud, just called all types of names for being abused, for staying. I mean, she got knocked out by her fiance, and she's the one that apologized. I mean, he apologized too, but then she apologized because she got punched unconscious. That's absurd to me. Like, you know, it's just crazy. Like, I feel like I've heard her apologies more than his. Not to say that he didn't, but I definitely heard hers
a lot
more than his.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's definitely unfortunate because, you know, I just feel like by always bringing this race argument in every issue, you start to sound like the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
I just think it takes away the credibility of the argument.
Yeah. And what's crazy is that, you know, the reason why we need to hold these things accountable is that domestic violence is a real issue in our community, in the black community. I mean, there's studies by the Violence Police Center, which is a national nonprofit educational organization that conducts research and public education on violence in America, and they did their most recent study was 2011, but basically they said black females were murdered by males at a rate of 2.61 per 100,000 in single victims / single offender incidences. And just for a comparison, for white women, the rate is 0.99 per 100,000. So it's almost double the rate. It's double the rate. And, you know, 94% of black women are murdered by someone they know, a proportion that is actually, in this situation, we're actually equally as high as women. Domestic violence actually is a national issue, but you know, we disproportionately deal with it. We have a disproportionate burden on fatal and non-fatal violence towards black women that have actually been overshadowed by violence towards black males. It's crazy because black women will talk about violence against black males all day because, like I said, we're ride or die for our men, but when the tables return, no one wants to talk about it. Actually, we get blamed for our own situations. I find that absurd.
I personally know of 2 women who were victims of who were murdered by their significant others, like crazy. But I was going to actually dedicate the show to them, but I just didn't know how to feel about that. R.I.P. to those 2 sisters. One of them I graduated with. Say rest in peace, KK, and rest in peace, Ebony. I think her last name was Hester, but those 2 sisters who were definitely victims of the ultimate form of domestic violence.
Yeah.
But back to some of the points that you was talking about.
No, I mean, that was pretty much it. You going into that pretty much said it. They said in the most common weapons used to murder these women were handguns, and that 448 homicides from which the murder weapon could be identified, 51% of the black female victims were shot and killed with guns. The number of black and female shot and killed by their husband or intimate acquaintance was nearly 4 times as high as the total murdered by male strangers. So basically, domestic violence is an epidemic in our community. It's a problem throughout the nation, obviously, but you know, talking about our community specifically is a real issue. So when we sit there and we give someone like Ray Rice a pass, once again we're ignoring an issue that is clearly a problem for us in our community, and it kind of marginalizes it, and it makes it not important, and it makes me it makes me really upset that the black woman's life isn't as valuable as the black man. That's what it seems like. It almost creates this. Somebody asked, you know, do incidents like this create a schism? And I answered like, no, it just exposes it. Like things that create the schism are misogynistic lyrics and rap. Just misogynistic terms like thought, you know, I hate that because it objectifies women to the point where they're dehumanized, and abusing them is not a big deal. So when incidences like this happen, it exposes all that stuff that causes us to just have this separation. And
I think also it just kind of letting him get a free pass or get him a slap on the wrist, to me, gives people an angle to justify in more localized instances, like, well, Ray Rice did it, or to a woman like Ray Rice. I can just picture some dumb motherfuckers saying to us, like, Ray Rice girl stood by him. You know I fucked up. You know I fucked up. But Ray Rice girl stood by him. You know what I'm saying? I can just picture somebody using that dumbass
She
argument.
married him.
You know what I'm saying? Like on a larger scale, because whether they believe it or not, they are role models and they're public figures that people tend to model their lives
and
after.
A lot of young kids, teenagers, you know, they look up to someone like a Ray Rice, and so to see that he just beat his girlfriend and then everybody was just actually defending him instead of wondering what happened and what's wrong with her, is she okay? You know, like. I just, what does that say?
Now, one of the things, besides those reasons, some people were really upset because they feel like it's an instance of double jeopardy. And at first, I thought double jeopardy was just a term that only applied to the legal system. But within the collective bargaining agreement between the players and the owners, they did have a clause that said the league could not do double jeopardy. Which double jeopardy means is pretty much punish a person for the same crime more than once.
Yes.
And so this is a prime example of that. But this was kind of different because the league gave him 2-game suspension, but the Ravens, after seeing the video themselves, just deactivated him and cut him for the rest of the season. Then the league suspended him indefinitely.
Yes. Now, I definitely have a beef with the league. Now, I didn't need to see that second video to have a beef with Ray Rice. Like when I saw that first video, I was like, oh, he is just wow. It's like, so I already had this, you know, feeling about him before the second video. I do understand how the second video caused this uproar because I actually used a good analogy about it. It's like, you know, if you drive by an accident and you see how bad the car's flipped, smashed, could be on fire, you're like, oh my god, that's a horrible accident. It was horrible. Like, you know it was horrible because you just saw the after effects of it. But to see one in motion, it definitely gives you a different feeling. It definitely produces a different emotion out of you to see that type of an accident.
For me, for instance, like prime example of that, I mean, when I was leaving from recording with you a few weeks ago, I was driving on the Parkway and I saw a car fully engulfed in flames.
Yeah.
Now, I'd have seen a car before, like, burnt out and the fire was out, but to actually ride past a car in flames and feel the flames,
you felt the heat. It created a reaction.
It just was a different.
Yes.
It just was a different experience, and now we just bringing it back to the analogy of why the backlash was so severe after seeing the video of him punching her, as opposed to us knowing that it occurred.
Exactly. But then back to my original point, why I'm mad at the NFL is that I feel like they kind of created this part of this backlash because of their lackluster response to the initial video. You know, had they have just given him a 1 to 2 year suspension, like a sufficient punishment, then when this second video came out, people would have been horrified by the video, of course. Mm-hmm. But they would have been like, you know what, he did get his punishment, and we do feel like he got the punishment he deserved. And we would have talked about the video, but he would have already had his punishment, and it would have been whatever. But the fact that he had the 2 games, and, you know, the NFL was already getting this pressure about the 2 games, and then the video coming out, it just created this maelstrom of just of anger and outrage at the fact that this produced only a 2-game suspension.
And it's crazy because this situation is so big that, like, the backlash is jeopardizing Roger Goodell's tenure as president.
Yes, it is.
Because it's starting to, they saying that the people from Rebel said no one from the NFL even contacted them about seeing the video.
And the NFL is saying that they tried to get videos and they were unsuccessful. They tried to everything they could to get the video and they were unsuccessful. Now, if the police weren't going to release the video, so you know, if they tried with the police, they probably were unsuccessful. But they never tried to get the video from Rebel, and they never tried to get the video from Ray Rice's lawyer, who had a copy of the video. They never made an attempt to see the video.
So much like see no evil, hear no evil.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind type of thing. And it makes me so upset. I'm a huge football fan. If anyone follows me on Facebook, you know I'm Niner gang to the end, like Niners.
Yes, sir.
And I love my Niners, and I love the NFL. And as a woman, like, I feel so offended and insulted that the NFL will just treat a domestic violence incident, which they have a history of downplaying these incidents, by the way. Ray Rice isn't the first one. He's just now made the scapegoat. He's made the example. But,
Ray Caruth?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's other. There's one now.
Ray Caruth?
Like that guy, what's his name? He's from,
49ers guy?
No, that dude from, like, I think it was the Panthers or something, how he had threatened his girlfriend that he was going to kill her and then threw all those guns on her on the couch. Remember that? You didn't hear that story?
I didn't hear that.
He threatened to kill her. It's like still under investigation. He threatened to kill her. He's still playing. And the fiance, the wife, was laid on the couch and he put all these guns on her. threatening to kill her. Like, it was an abusive situation, whatever. Anyway, the point is...
So he pretty much threw guns on like, this is how I get down.
I'll fuck you up with these guns. Yes. So, they've been very inconsistent, notoriously inconsistent, and notoriously downplayed domestic violence cases from the get anyway. So, like, women make up over 40% of the NFL fan base, and like I said, I'm a huge fan, and I'm just offended and I'm disgusted by the way the NFL handled this, and Roger Goodell, who's supposed to be tough on everything, but except for when it comes to beating a woman.
Well, this is definitely a big issue, and I called it the Hunger Games on social media because I felt like I just felt like sometimes
it was intense.
People's opinion was offending one another, and overall, I just had to fall back because
I did. Me too.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just agree to disagree, fall back. I'm gonna read what you say, but I'll just leave it right there.
Yeah.
Be so reactionary and not hold it against nobody. So I advise everybody to be careful in judging their friends based off of these opinions.
That's true, and also know that you're allowed to harbor multiple views. You can sit there and understand that there's a double standard. You can sit there and be pissed at the NFL for the retroactive punishment and the way they were just like completely just botched this entire situation.
How they fell to the court of public opinion.
And you can be mad at Ray Rice for beating his girlfriend. All these things could happen. They're not mutually exclusive.
What about people mad that their fantasy teams are ruined?
Yeah, there are. Yeah, people are really pissed off about that.
And people mad that he's not on Madden no more.
People were mad about that with Aaron Hernandez. I mean, he killed a man.
Anyway, overall, just something to keep an eye on and ear on. I think people be civil. Be civil,
yes.
You know what I mean?
And respectfully agree to disagree.
Exactly, that's my motto.
There we go.
But now we're getting on to lighter things.
Yes.
Each week we always go over our serious, not that serious.
Yeah.
But we got a couple of things to discuss this week. Yeah. Is it serious or not that serious?
Yes.
Some of them are lighthearted and some of them are kind of foul.
Yeah,
well,
like first one.
Yeah, first thing to start off with is in Bay Village, Ohio, a group of men dumped feces and urine.
Teenagers,
excuse me.
Yeah.
They dumped feces and urine and cigarette butts over the heads of a guy suffering from autism.
Yes, apparently they had convinced this autistic kid, who was probably all happy that he was being included in, with his peers to do the ALS bucket challenge. And he's sitting there in front of the garage. He's all ready in his underwear. And they just pour a bucket of just shit, literally shit on his head. And let me tell you, man, when I read that, I was just like, oh my God, I don't wish I don't wish ill will or misfortune on anyone, but I'm really close to wishing a life of misery on those teenagers because it was just one of the foulest things I've ever read. Like, how do you do that to someone?
And they record it though,
and then you're dumb. So thank God you're dumb, by the way, because now the police found him. Right? Aren't they gonna get like? Apparently the cops found who did it.
Yeah, they found who did it because Drew Carey.
Because Drew Carey offered a $10,000 bounty.
Drew Carey. Drew Carey, Cleveland. He always repping Cleveland. And also the co-host. The host of
Price is Right.
Price is Right. Yeah, so he pretty much put $10,000 up, and these teens was found. But none of the names were released. So, but justice is being in the process of being served. So you think it's serious? Not that serious?
Oh, I think it's serious because it's disgusting and it's really kind of like, what's wrong with you in the head? Do something like that, and it's a shame because this autistic kid just really wanted to be included and just sound like it reminded me of Carrie. That movie Carrie. Yeah. Like, why would you do something
just
like that?
Just people trying to pray in a week. So
once again, crazy. Says a lot about those teenagers.
Yeah, so it's definitely serious. Next thing is the Philly decriminalizes weed.
Yeah, enlighten me on this.
Yeah. Philly Mayor Michael Nutter confirmed this past Monday that he will sign a bill into law that will make his city the largest in America so far to do this, to decriminalize marijuana possession. Pretty much it just softens the penalty for such offense from possible jail time to just a $25 fine.
Which I think is huge because most of our men that are in prison because of marijuana offenses. That's crazy. Small amounts of weed ruin people's lives in America.
And he even tweaked it a little bit to tack on a $100 fine if you smoke in public.
Okay.
But you can also get that $100 fine waived if you do community service.
I like that.
So in essence, it's not necessarily like Colorado.
Yeah.
It's just pretty much saying if you get caught smoking weed or you get caught with a small amount of weed on you, you'll just get a summons and a fine rather than go to jail.
Yeah, and have your life ruined, have this record.
So it becomes like a misdemeanor.
Yeah, and then the reason why this is significant to me and why I think it's serious is that, like I said, for a lot of black men, a lot of them are in prison because of weed-related offenses, and this will just kind of like lessen that.
Right,
I mean, real, like I said, lives have been ruined because of weed.
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
Yeah. So next one, so overall, I think it's definitely I think that so you say serious, not serious.
Well, I mean, I think it's serious in the fact that
it's seriously good.
Seriously good.
Seriously good.
I like that.
Word. All right, so next one is Joan Rivers. Before she died, she let out a release saying that she denied Michelle Obama. So in one of her final interviews conducted just weeks before her death, she told the Sunday.
She knew.
Yes, she told most people that it's like they want to die typically talk it up, especially older people. But it said the Sunday Times magazine. She told them that she wanted people kept from her funeral, which included Obama, who she branded a tranny. She said she also didn't want Adele for being too fat, and Chelsea Handler because she was dubbed a drunk and a whore.
Oh, damn.
So she said she didn't want those people.
Crazy because Chelsea Handler is kind of like her.
Yeah, exactly. But she's a little more dry.
Well, yeah, but, I actually don't like Chelsea Handler.
I think she's pretty funny. But so you think it's serious? Not that serious. I mean, that she's mentioning like that.
I don't think it's that serious because, like, would Michelle Obama even go to Joan? Like, who the fuck is Joan Rivers to Michelle Obama? She ain't going to that woman's funeral.
Exactly.
Please. She didn't even release a statement like this woman doesn't even exist.
Exactly. And it seems just like something
Joan
she
Rivers.
would say.
Yeah. Like, if she wasn't dead, like we said last week, she would be clowning her own death.
And a lot of people getting bent out of shape over this because they're saying she called Michelle Obama a tranny.
Well, I do think she's a bigot, though, and a racist. But whatever.
I don't believe that. But she's.
What? Have you heard
I just don't believe that. But she mentions she not only comes at Michelle, she comes at Odell and Chelsea Handler.
Yeah.
So she's an equal opportunist asshole. So it's not that serious. Rest in peace, Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
All right. Not that serious to me. Next one. NFL. I mean, as you know, if you didn't know, Michael Sam, the first openly gay professional football player, he was cut by the Rams, the team that drafted him, and then he was actually picked up by the Dallas Cowboys to be in their practice squad.
Yes.
ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, and Peter King from NBC, they reported that after he was cut, that the NFL was actually calling around to teams like, yo, could y'all please put him on y'all practice squad? Or did y'all at least look him up and check out, see if he can fit in y'all squad?
Trying to keep that good press going.
Keep the good press going and make sure that it doesn't seem like they're discriminating against him. And it seemed like it's a good natured thing to do, but at the same time, it's people that dream of getting to the league.
Yeah.
And
there's a reason why he was cut. Do you think it's because he was gay? I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, who knows?
But I think it's overall unfair they're doing it for him, not doing it for anybody else.
Yeah.
So what you think is serious, not that serious?
Well, I'm kind of really pissed at the NFL, so fuck the NFL right now. It's not that serious to me right now. It really isn't.
I think it's not that serious, but overall,
I mean, people.
I think if you want to be treated equally, it's not that big of a deal. He's gay. Okay, he's gay.
Yeah, I mean, but he's the first, so it's kind of like.
I know, but we move on past that shit. He's on the practice squad by the Cowboys.
Can't move on past
by who the 49ers whooped their ass this past
week. Yeah, let's not forget that.
Yeah, we scraped them too.
Seriously, we scraped y'all. I mean, the whole NFL East is like horrible.
We stood in the star.
NFL East. Anyway.
Yep. All right, so the next one I think people should pay attention to.
Yes, this is an important one.
Yeah, this is an important one right here because we all can identify with it. But the net neutrality protest.
Yes.
So on September 10th, tomorrow, some web's biggest websites and companies are staging a day of protest to draw attention to net neutrality. Pretty much the idea that broadband providers such as Verizon, Cablevision, Optimum,
Netflix.
No, broadband providers.
Providers.
Yeah, providers like I said, like Verizon, Optimum, Comcast, that's Xfinity. Pretty much they trying to protest so these companies can't speed up, slow down, or block otherwise manipulate the traffic that requests online.
Yeah.
So pretty much what these companies are doing are offering extra services like Optimum offering Ultra 50 or Ultra 101, and Verizon has Quantum, which is 6 different speeds, and Comcast has Plus or Extreme. So before, we just know after dial-up, because dial-up sucks so bad, but after dial-up, we started getting cable internet connection, we just was used to a certain speed. Okay. But now these companies are offering slower or faster speed.
Yeah, so you can pay. Like for example, a company like Netflix that uses like a lot of streaming can pay like a Verizon or whatever to basically like clear up the highway and allow their websites to run faster, which gives companies like Netflix a huge advantage over smaller websites. Like a regular old Joe Schmo website now is going to be running a million times slower than like a Netflix or a Hulu or whatever, some similar website. It just kills like
But on the flip side, more consumer basis, that I just feel like we don't know now like, are they slowing down our regular services now? So we feel more obligated to get faster speeds?
Well, let me tell you.
Because we got a household full of multiple devices. Like right now, we got both our phones on your Wi-Fi, both our laptops, and both our tablets on your device.
We do know that mobile companies already do it, because if they see that you're using a lot of data, I heard that they slow down your data. They'll slow it down, like, oh no, this MF is just using too much data this month.
So they've been manipulating, so looking out for the consumer, looking out for the company. So these companies are making more money on the backs of us. Yeah. So a lot of these.
I just feel like they need more. Like, damn, like this, like, God.
So this demonstration will involve like Netflix, Mozilla, Kickstarter, Etsy, and WordPress, just to name a few. These sites will show their visitors a loading icon, which representing how looser restrictions on internet service providers, ISPs, could result in slower web service for some. So some of these websites, be clear, they're making the icon that look like a slow loading process. Yeah. It's just an icon, but it won't be representing the website being slow. It just is a sign of solidarity. So look out for that. You think that's serious or not that serious?
Well, I think it's serious as a consumer, and I mean, that's the future. The internet's the future, and it's always been known as this free entity that everyone could get on. You can like make your dreams happen from the internet.
People got rich off it.
People get rich off of it, just just making a regular old website, and it can
start creating a class. It's going to create.
It's what happened with the cable companies.
But it's going for the consumer. It's going to create a have and have-nots.
Yes.
Like, people can get the information faster than some people who can't afford to.
Yeah.
So I just think that's something to keep an eye on, and I think it's definitely serious.
Yeah, like people like us, like, sorry not to cut you off, but just real quick, like people like us who want to like create our necessary troublemaker website, which we're working on right now. We won't be able to get our information out as fast as like a CNN, because CNN's got money and we don't. It's kind of not fair.
Yeah.
Little person's voice gets lost.
So look out for that. And that's something definitely serious.
Yes.
Now the last one of our isn't that serious, not that serious, is related to the Hawks. Now
Atlanta
Hawks. Now their owner, I think his name, I forget his
Bruce
name.
Levinson.
Bruce Levinson. He came under fire because he made some statements, but someone from his organization or him pretty much went to the NBA front office and offered information.
And actually, just a quick background check. It wasn't like someone found his information and he received backlash. What happened was it was brought to his attention that this email got out, and the owners actually held like a private meeting with the NBA and everything to discuss what they're going to do about this, because it was like racially charged comments. And then Levinson ended up resigning and selling his share of the ownership of the Hawks as a result.
So pretty much what he said was he concluded Southern whites were uncomfortable at games. He said specifically, my theory is that the black crowds scare away the whites, and there's simply not enough affluent black fans to build a significant season ticket base.
Yeah, I mean, his whole complaint was the fact that he wasn't selling tickets. They weren't making a lot of money, and he was trying to figure out why, and that was one of his reasons why.
He also said, please don't get me wrong, there was nothing threatening going on around the arena back then. I never felt uncomfortable, but I think Southern whites simply were not comfortable being in an arena or at a bar where they were the minority. And Levinson said Hawks crowd is 70% black. The team's cheerleader are black. Hip-hop music was played.
They played hip-hop, gospel. He was mad at the Kiss Cam because they were all black. I hate your black lips. Cause they
I hate your neck because it's black.
I hate the keys on piano because they black.
I hate Wesley Snipes' black ass. And I hate Forrest Whitaker's neck. But
that's what it sounds like. All this black shit. It's too black.
But he said also.
He didn't complain about the players being black, though, did he?
He didn't complain about the players being black. Overall, I don't think his statements were that serious, because I don't think they were of a nature of hatred or racist.
Yeah, I mean, he actually said that comment about the white people being afraid, not afraid, but uncomfortable in being the minority in the room and welcome to our world. And then, and that they didn't feel comfortable, and he heard comments about how it wasn't safe, and he actually called it racist. He said these racist thoughts, like racist bullshit is what he called it. So he actually called Southern whites racist for their attitude.
And it's good that someone of his stature called a spade, because people still like to say that we live in a post-racial society.
Yeah, I mean,
so I think his statements weren't that serious.
Yeah.
Now, like dash, or I say subsection to this whole thing was his general manager, former NBA player Danny Ferry.
Mm-hmm.
He said in regards to a player that they were vetting, Luol Deng, he said because they was looking to try to get Luol Deng on the team. He says Luol Deng, he's from Africa, by the way. He says he has a little African in him, not in a bad way.
What does that mean?
He said, but he's
Go ahead.
He said, but he's like a guy who have a nice store.
Sorry, go ahead.
He's like a guy who would have a nice store out front, but sell you counterfeit stuff in the back. So he pretty much said Luol Deng is Two-Face.
Yeah.
But not fully, which I think is definitely hard because he made a stereotypical statement.
Yeah.
And he pretty much was just.
Now that was a bad statement.
Yeah, I feel like he just threw a whole bunch
from the beginning.
African people from Africa. I would say African American, but people from Africa threw them all in the bus and just put them under one box, and saying they sell bootleg shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of serious. I think he should be kind of.
Yeah, now that was bad. I mean, like I said, I couldn't even get past that first statement. I couldn't even let you finish his statement because really. Anyway. Yeah,
and he's a former player and he's a GM, so he's.
He was an asshole.
He actually picks talent, so I think his statement is more serious. So for the most part, there you go. And that's our serious, not that serious.
Yes.
Now we're gonna do what we always do.
Yes.
We go over our rants, and last week I went first.
Oh, so I guess I go first.
Yes.
Well, my rant is dysfunction doesn't equal normal. In light of the Ray Rice situation, a lot of people are talking about how this is like a normal thing. I mean, people fight. This is what happens. And, sometimes people make mistakes, part of that people make mistake thing. And, I mean, am I the only one that does not find anything about this remotely normal? It's dysfunctional as all hell. Since when has dysfunctional been classified as normal? We need to really stop accepting these things as it being okay. Like it's okay to just, for men to hit women or for women to hit men. Like, all that shit. That's wrong. Like, I just don't understand why people like to think. I kind of think it's just because everybody. I mean, there is some dysfunction in a lot of things, and when people call dysfunction normal, it kind of makes them feel normal. I mean, normal's relative, right? Who knows what really normal is? But things like that, like situations that are clearly dysfunctional relationships, dysfunctional family, none of that is normal. So we really need to stop acting like they're equals. They're definitely not. It's definitely not justification for something that's crazy like domestic violence. There's absolutely nothing normal about that. And once we stop thinking it's normal, then maybe we can actually solve the issue. My rant's kind of short because that's actually the end of my rant right there.
All right. So, dysfunction
isn't normal.
Okay. And my rant, for the most part, is also inspired by this whole backlash and just by Ray Rice. And my whole thing is condescending social media posters. It's always somebody on social media that just want to feel like they're standing alone or standing with the minority, and they just putting us on or calling us sheep or calling us followers, or we drink the Kool-Aid like the Jim Jones thing. And at the end of the day, when you making these arguments that you know better than we know, it just dilutes your whole point. It just make you look like. It just puts us on the offense when you're trying to play me out and insult my intelligence. And I just feel like the best approach to take to respect everyone's opinion is agree to disagree. I'll hear your point, you hear my point. We don't agree, we agree to disagree. But as soon as you start trying to come at me and call me this and call me that, I just feel like it just makes me, it just reflects on your intelligence more so than mine, how emotional you are, and how much you want to be the man or the woman, or you just want to stand apart from the crowd. And social media, unfortunately, is providing people the platform based off of their likes and their followers and their comments they get on a particular post, even though most of the comments probably coming from the person keeping their shit alive. But anyway, it just make people stand on their high horse and they talking down to the congregation as if they're Preacher Paulie or some shit. And they need to shut their ass up. And it's just annoying. Like, overall, man, you know what I mean? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them, and your opinion is not more valid than mine. So shove that shit up your ass and fall back with that condescending bullshit.
As he's
because
acting condescending.
I'm pretty, I know. I am condescendingly saying this, but I'm just condescendingly saying that.
It's all right, you get a pass.
I'm just condescendingly saying that to protect the people who aren't as well versed or who don't feel as intelligent or confident in the intelligence to argue with these people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. Because everyone probably isn't as sharp or isn't as researched or studied or read like the people that's talking down to other people. So just keep that shit to yourself and stop trying to play people out.
Yeah.
And that's my rant of the week.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So now we close out again with our jewel of the week.
Yeah, which is aptly, violence is never the answer.
Yes.
It's actually consistent with our theme tonight. We actually talked about this a few times, and I actually just said it. But, I mean, in situations, I can't think of any situation where violence is going to solve it. It just actually
adds fuel to the fire.
Exactly, adds fuel to the fire, and it just, it doesn't result in anything that's constructive whatsoever in any case. Like we said earlier, whether it's a man hitting a woman hitting a man, you can almost go to some extent, like when parents hit their kids, almost even to that point. I mean, some parents are actually extreme with it. Just overall violence really is
not
just
the answer. And
it isn't.
And usually it's just an emotional reaction. It's an emotional reaction that people temporarily feel good about.
Exactly.
But usually the backlash that comes back from violence, violence begets violence, as they say.
Yes.
And overall, just never the answer. And usually a cooler head always prevails.
Yeah.
So we're definitely advocates of nonviolence.
Yeah. If you're ever in a situation, altercation, it really just take a few seconds. That's it. Those few seconds are key. That will prevent you from making a rash decision. A lot of these things are definitely irrational and impulsive, and if you just take a second to just stop.
And to quote the famous philosopher Anthony Cruz, aka Z, "Fuck who's the baddest. A person's status depends on salary. Violence isn't the answer."
Yeah, there you go. Perfectly in that one.
So we're gonna end it like we always end it every week.
Yes.
Because it's the real shit we always say, and we close with the real shit. Because we always like to quote this: "The percentage you don't understand is higher than the percentage you do." Check yourself.
What percentage is you?
Can we live?
Stay informed, y'all.
Peace.